So if you want to explore that road too, but how does it play out?
Yeah, I mean, let's look at what's happened with automation, right? Automation, AI, right? So as the computer came to the workforce, right, it was going to eliminate so many jobs, and to an extent, it did, right? It eliminated many tasks, and it changed the workforce, right? It required you to be, instead of somebody that was physically doing something, maybe somebody that was behind a desk and pushing keys instead of pushing paper. That automation, right? That Michelle, you were talking about automation, those reports, those things, right? We were able to take tedious tasks away, right? I'm doing the same formula every single time. I'm processing the same spreadsheet. I'm typing in these numbers every single time. Like, why can't this spreadsheet connect to this spreadsheet? And why can't we actually just get that data from this other source and just have it populate in everywhere it needs to populate? Like, I remember thinking that thought in 2003, right? Like, this information is housed here on this piece of paper. Why must I sit and type it? It's there. It's in the computer. Let's just connect it, right? But now when that goes to AI, right? So there's that automation, right? You're looking at a report and you're like, that report's not right. So it means the input wasn't correct, or the input is correct and there's a problem. I loved seeing those. I'm a solutionist, right? So it's like, that report's not right. Let's figure it out. Mm-hmm. Is the report wrong, or is the data right and we have a bigger issue? And those were my favorite things for about 5 seconds. And then no good deed goes unpunished, right? It's like, hey, I found this huge problem within what we do. Let's go fix it. Everyone's like, no. I don't want to relearn my job. So we're just sitting with this glaring problem, and the solutionist is like, must fix now. Please, let's fix this. I can't look at another report that's wrong. So I think when we look at, and going into AI, with this launch of AI, what was the big news? All of these big issues, like an AI platform going back and swearing at people, like picking a fight, right? And so it's only as good as the programming. But now with this bioengineering, like, that's really interesting, because what is the programming? Mm-hmm. If there is no if the programming is organic, like, it's really interesting. It scares me because I don't know anything about it, and I'm just, I'm just conservative with things, like, things that I don't know about, they scare me because I want to get educated. But yeah, that could answer a lot of questions, and it can solve a lot of problems if we actually have that data, that information.
Mm-hmm. So how did it play out for you, Michelle? Like,
you mean for this organoid intelligence thing?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So how would that have played out? Based on your experience based on your experience of how people were receiving, your workmates were receiving, having to move forward with technology. So how would something like this have played out?
I think not well. I think that we do need to do a really good job for the people who understand what the technology is, whether that's AI or organoid intelligence or whatever name it's going to have when I'm dead and gone and it's a thing that everybody uses. I think the people who understand the thing, my personality is, I think that those folks have a responsibility to their fellow humans to make it less scary. Just it's just the next evolution, and I try to be sort of an ever learning kind of person, and I think that we have something in our culture I think is sort of like, well, you're cooked after high school, or maybe you're cooked after college, and then it's just sitting back and letting life happen. But I think it's about ensuring that we're all comfortable with learning, comfortable being uncomfortable, because that's when you're learning, is when you're just like, whew, this doesn't feel good, and not reacting in a contracting way. because, you know, when we feel threatened, when we feel like I'm not going to be needed here, maybe in a workspace, maybe I'm going to be laid off, or maybe the thing that I've been known for, now someone can just bloop, press a button and it spits out and you're just like, crap, well, what am I here for? It feels bad. And so I think that what I get excited about is how can it serve us? You know, how could something like that serve us and free us up to do the things like you were saying with the spreadsheet, Joe? If you didn't have to do that transcribing into the spreadsheet, what amazing problems could you be solving? I mean, let's face it, we've got incredible problems to solve, and I feel like it could free us up to do that. That's kind of where my brain goes.